This is Morkredd. All I can tell from the trailer is that it seems to be a puzzle game aimed at co-op, but playable in single player. And so I'm going to try it out for the first time here in single player. If it turns out that two-player co-op is the way to play, I might try it out with a partner at some point in the future. But you can see I've never played this before because it's doing all that very beginning of the game stuff. Okay, so this looks like it's the Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons control scheme, where I've got one character on each stick, interactions on the opposite triggers, and then I can also swap character on A? Oh, that's interesting. If I can control both at once, why would I need to swap character? I guess we'll find out. So the whole thing has got this crazy, like, black and white aesthetic that I'm into so far. The characters seem like they're lit really differently from the rest of the world. What's that going to look like? Am I controlling this? Oh, hello. Ah, what the? Oh, I am creepy zombie people, I guess. Creepy ghost people? All right. There are two of us. And I'm controlling the dude with the left stick, and the lady with the right stick. Oh! Okay. Okay, cool. Achievement unlocked. Nice. So do I have to sort of wait for this little dude to catch up with us? Okay, I've got to move these characters so that I have to keep the woman on the right and the guy on the left, because otherwise I'm just going to forget who's who. Oh, shoot. Oh, holy crap. Okay, I wonder how often I'm going to get checkpoints that allow me to make mistakes. While we were playing Bleed 2, we were just talking about the difference between a game being stringent and a game being punishing. If I can be killed by a single shadow and the game makes me go back too far, that's going to be tough. That's going to be a difficult game to get into, but we'll see how this works. Certainly, it might be an argument in favor of playing in co-op, so I'm only worrying about keeping a single character in the light. Keeping two characters in the light at the same time is, I don't know. It is some mental effort. Okay, that looks like a checkpoint. I'm assuming that I've just hit a checkpoint. And then I can just make mistakes like crazy now. Okay. So it looks like the light actually hesitated for me to pull the lever. That worried me a little. Like, am I gonna have to figure out puzzles just with like insane time constraints? Okay. I let them get apart from each other. Ah! Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, nice. Oh, did you see that? Okay, it flipped the camera around, which I immediately started worrying. Oh no, I can't handle this if the woman's on the left and the guy's on the right. But you can hit A to swap which character is controlled by which stick. That's great. That works really well. Okay. I'm so glad they did that. I'm so sorry that I can't read the chat, but I have to keep my eyes glued to this game to keep anything bad from happening. Like, it will not let me glance to the side for even a second. Okay. Down the stairs. My characters have these little creeping walk animations that just make me feel like, I don't know, like I just need to be very slow and careful. That is actually a really interesting, subtle thing that a game can do, is it can use the animations of the characters to convey gameplay information. Usually not like straightforward, simple like lock and key gameplay information. I just had to switch in order to get that. What are you doing? Freaking little will-o'-the-wisp. But like, by controlling sort of the way that the player thinks about the character's actions, like you can use the animation of a character to change the way the player thinks about their actions, and then sort of change the emotional way that the player approaches the game, which can actually change their success and failure at the game. Like in this case, communicating to me that I need to be very carefully and gingerly moving is important to my success. And so they're reinforcing it. I mean, they're not conveying this information only through the character's animation, but they're reinforcing it through the characters having these kind of like hunched down, creeping sorts of walk animations. It makes me feel like I need to be moving slowly and carefully. Oh, wow. Actually cut away. That's weird. We have a giant ball now that is translucent. Whoa. Oh, okay. Okay. Is this just a temporary thing for this level, or is most of the game pushing a glowing orb now? Wait, how do I... Okay, how do I even do this? Yes, faster, faster, faster. Oh, okay. Oh, this is so weird. This is so weird. And each of my characters is like casting a deadly shadow. Like if one of them walks into the other one's shadow, that's probably real bad. Okay, so she is gonna... Oh, how do these physics even work? Oh, no. Oh! Dang it, he just killed her. Ah! Wow, so it's a game where you control two characters at once, which is already hard. But then the characters can kill each other if you cross the streams. Ah! You know what? So part of me thinks, oh man, it would be easier to play this in co-op because then I only have to worry about one character. But you don't. In co-op, you still have to worry about both characters. You can't get in the other character's way. So it might actually be harder to play this in co-op because you can't control where the other person moves. You don't know if their shadow is going to suddenly cross in front of you if they're not careful enough, or if you move in a way they didn't anticipate. Okay, I've got a thing. Put it into place. Oh, this game is sadistic. Okay. Again, I can see the chat moving out of the corner of my eye. I'm so sorry I can't talk to any of you. Okay, hold on. Okay. We're at a wall. Let me take a break real quick to read the chat, because I think I'm not going to just die in a second. Okay, so Rooney115 suggests that I should play a game called Undying when it comes out. I don't actually know what game you're talking about. What's Undying? Is that like Clive Barker's Undying? Well, no, that's the definition of the word. That's not what I'm looking for. Undying. Oh, yeah, that is Clive Barker's Undying. Wait a minute. It's not out? For some reason, I had it in my head that was a game that already... Oh, no. This is not Clive Barker's Undying. This is a different... There's a game called Undying on Steam. Oh, Yeah, this is on... I think this is on my wish list. Or is it... Oh, no. Did they have I think they had a demo during a Steam festival. I might have played it during the demo on the Steam festival. Okay, well, this definitely... So the reason why I think Rooney thought of that game is because... Oh, I've trapped myself. Is because it's another game that involves two characters trying to survive together in a harrowing world. Which it isn't a co-op game like this one. But yeah, I can see what made you think of that. So anyway, let's see. What else did folks say? So Mike UK says that this seems like fun for a certain kind of person. It is actually fun so far. It's also just massively stressful. You have to be in the right mood to want this kind of thing. Yeah, so Cloudcraft is reacting to this by saying that yes, this is punishing. On the scale of evaluating the game on whether it is stringent and or punishing, this game is definitely on the punishing side in that failure causes immediate reload of a checkpoint, and the checkpoints, I don't know. Okay, so far there's been a checkpoint after each major puzzle, so that's actually, oh gosh. So that's good. That works. But one of the problems is time. So this game, just like Bleed 2, did this really nice thing where after each challenge, there was a checkpoint. And so I never had to replay more than one thing at a time, which was great. The problem is Bleed 2 is very fast-paced. And so one thing in Bleed 2 does not represent a lot of time, because Morkredd involves so much. Okay, I need to swap characters because Morkredd involves so much very careful, slow, cautious movement. Reloading a checkpoint feels like a bigger cost. Because it takes so much longer to retread the same ground. So it does feel like, it's similarly stringent to a game like Bleed. Actually, can I squish that thing? Nope. I almost killed the dude. Is that thing gonna hurt me? Oh, is it gonna move it's gonna move the light for me? But what if I don't want it to? Because it looks like I need to get somebody up on that bridge. Okay, so that's why that lever was a lever and not... Oh, crap. Nope, don't. Okay, hold on. That's why the lever was a lever and not a pressure plate. It was because I need to permanently open this so that I can then backtrack and get a character up the stairs. Okay, so... But yeah, so Cloudcraft is correct, though, that so one advantage that Bleed has is that I can take a number of hits before I die. Whereas in Morkredd, that's not really a thing. And I feel like it wouldn't have been crazy to say, oh, you can survive a second in the darkness, and if you realize it and immediately turn back, then you don't have to lose progress. That wouldn't have been nuts. Oh, good, I can step on them. That wouldn't have been crazy to say that that's how it worked. But that also would have been a lot of work to get right. Oh, what? I really like analog tools like that, by the way, in a puzzle game. Being able to move something smoothly, not just turn it on and off. But, saying, oh, you're gonna take damage over time, for instance, while you're in here. You've got to use, new animations to communicate that. You've got to there's a lot to the process of communicating to the player. You can survive a few seconds in here, but then you've got to get back out again. And then you have to worry, every puzzle, is there a way to cheese the puzzle by just surviving some darkness? And it opens up a lot of problems at the same time that it makes the game less stringent. And so, which is fine. I'm in favor often of making games less stringent, especially if you want to have an alternate accessibility mode or something like that. Let's switch the characters. Are these guys gonna form into some kind of Voltron monster that I'm gonna have to deal with? Because that's gonna be a problem for me. Right now, I can just squish them all, which is great. I feel like they're gonna be a greater threat at some point. I don't know exactly how. Oh no! Oh man! I just cut the edge of his heels. So where am I? I went back. Is it just this one room? Oh, you know what? If I'm not trying to make them push it together, that's actually much easier. Oh, I didn't realize. I just kind of assumed because I had two characters and the whole thing's about pushing a big orb of light that I would need both characters to be pushing the orb of light. I do not need that. I can have one character be the light jockey and the other character just walk in front of the light. That's so much better. Okay, I'm going to stop and look at the chat again as soon as we get inside this little space. Oh, did she just fall into the darkness? Dang, I couldn't even see. Okay, that's the problem. When you let the characters be occluded and they'll be killed by darkness. If you can't see whether an area is dark, that's a problem. Okay, let me see. So Cloudcraft said, it's a classic conundrum for a player where they don't want to go fast for fear of failure and don't want to go slow for fear of wasted time when they fail. Yeah, absolutely. This game is absolutely in that zone where... Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can elaborate on it better than Cloudcraft just said, honestly. Okay, no. We got to stay on the same side of the pipe. It is weird to be killed by darkness and also create darkness. Like, it feels like each of these characters, because they have a shadow, is basically always standing in a shadow. Like, how does that work exactly? I don't know. But yeah, it's like, I'll find myself doing that. That's actually a huge component, I think, of how tilting often works in a game like this. Where, you know, tilting is a word to describe when you start playing worse and worse as you get frustrated with your failures. Is that, you know, you basically, because you've replayed this section so many times, you, like, can't stomach playing through it again and again and again the way you have to. And so you end up rushing it. But because you just can't stand to play through it at normal speed anymore. But because you're rushing it, you start failing more and end up replaying more and spending more time in a game that you're tired of because you got so tired of it that you started rushing it. Okay, so... Oh. Crap. Okay, so... I need to go collect a thing. Which means this thing has to stay here. I need to shine the light. This actually reminds me, having to shine spotlights in a game with two characters reminds me a lot of Fogs. So if you have not watched my videos on Fogs, go look up my videos on Fogs. Because Fogs is like this, only instead of being dark and punishing and morbid, it's just adorable and cute the entire time. But it's a very similar game that you're controlling sort of two characters at once, either in single player with two sticks or in co-op. Only in that game, it's a single animal with a dog head at both ends. And so it's a pretty different experience. Wait, how am I? Oh, switched characters. Okay, there we go. Oh, just killed the dude. Okay, at least it counted me as having finished that. Can I actually sneak by? Here, or do I have to move it? Dang it. Okay, well, maybe I can just... There. I like this mural on the wall. Two angels moving an orb. Feels weirdly prophetic. Okay, so if I get it into a corner, what do I do? Okay, I can just slowly wedge myself in. Wow, that actually probably took some real programming to get done. Like, it looked like that was going to be completely stuck. And not only was I able to just slowly edge it out, but my character's movement was smooth the whole time I was doing it. Like, whenever anything is ruled by physics, you expect there to be just a little bit of weirdness and jitter or something. But there was none. And that was pretty cool. Okay, so... I don't know what that jet is for. Oh, but to get this thing off a solid wall, I do need both characters. Okay, I see what's going on here. All right, so to get this where I can reach it. Fire that thing that way. That thing that way. Avoid walking between my friend and the light. Okay, now it is spat out. And now... put it in place. It's always interesting seeing how a game answers the question, what do the locks and keys look like in your game? It's like a lot of puzzle games like this, you just ask that question and then each of them has to come up with some bizarre answer. Like just a normal lock and key is not going to cut it. It's got to be an orb slotting into a slot. It's got to be a rune fitting into a sentence, or it's got to be, in this case, a glowy, cracked, crystally, stony thing that has to hover over a slot. Okay, so I took one of two routes. I don't know if there was any reason why I should have taken the other one, but here we go. One thing I am really curious about is... okay, this is going to go badly. Already tell. Oh my gosh, what? No! No! Okay. Yeah, so Cloudcraft, you are correct that the orb is very responsive to not just the direction of the character making contact, but also the direction of their movement. Yeah. Okay, I'm glad they didn't make me do that any longer. That was exactly the amount of time doing that was reasonable. Wait, so before I go in there, do I need to care what's up here? I don't think I can really get the light up there anyway, so... yeah, it's like when I'm pressing, it's like, I don't know, it's weirdly intuitive. How to push against the orb when it is up next to the wall. All right. I'm so glad they didn't make me backtrack. Okay, I had to swap their directions or swap their sticks twice during that puzzle. I wonder if when they first developed this game, the characters were just assigned permanently to particular sticks. And basically they just had so many problems with players sort of losing track of who was who, or needing to swap the characters' positions physically in order to have the controls make any sense, that they ended up just adding a button for it and then adding UX to tell you, oh, this is who's on. I was just trying to show you as an example, what it looked like to change characters, and I ended up just killing myself just by accident. Okay, so before we move on, let's catch up with the chat again. Jedi Psychic says, "You did it! You murdered your friends." I don't know what that's referring to. Crap! I fell too far behind. Oh, hey, Cloudcraft just switched over from YouTube to Twitch. And Cloudcraft, you're just switching back and forth. You're freaking me out. Okay, so Cloudcraft says, I'd like to know what the blue glow that occasionally pops up outlining the circumference of the light means. So I haven't even noticed this blue glow, so I will not be able to answer that question. There was one point where I thought I saw, like, purple lightning appearing on the periphery of the screen. So that was a thing. Oh, okay, we're going to be very careful. This thing has a lip, so I'm probably fine. But I love it when a game like this that feels very intimate in scope suddenly pulls out and shows you the scale of where you are, especially if it involves some kind of Cthulhu monster. Okay. Well, you know what? I think that actually this is probably a good time to stop, because the game just started hinting at the scale and the sort of the depth and horror of what's going on, and that feels like a good time to sort of like leave it ominous and let people who are interested in the game come back to it. I am interested in trying this out in co-op sometime just to see how frustrating it gets, because I'm betting like when I have control over it and I accidentally step one character in front of the other and they kill each other, I'm just like, oh, silly me. If like one of my kids was doing that to me all the time, or if I did that to one of my kids, I don't know. That might get a little bit more annoying. And so I'm glad that I tried this in single player. That feels like the right way to try it, at least at first, because it sounds like doing it in co-op would be so much harder. Especially just because shadows, I mean, like, they move so fast. It's like, you move an inch around that orb and your shadow will sweep across a huge distance far from you. I mean, that's actually one of the ways that they people try to pretend that they can get past the limitations of the speed of light, is by saying, well, the shadow of something can move faster than light. And that's true, but a shadow is not a thing. A shadow is just a change in distant things. And so, but seriously though, I mean, shadows move faster than anything else, because if you just move something in front of a light, like the shadow in the distance moves really, really quickly. And so it's so easy, even if you're coordinating really, really well. I imagine it would be so easy to just accidentally move a foot to the left and your shadow sweeps across a whole quarter of the map and just eliminates your friend. So single player feels right. I like the way they've done it. I like the way that they've addressed how hard it is to keep track of where characters are. And I like the fact that even though this is an extremely stringent game, like one false step and you're dead, like a lot of the games I've been playing lately, it's not very punishing. Like, you don't go back very far, and really it's just how quickly you're able to navigate it is kind of what determines your frustration level. Jedi Cytrix, by the way, reacted to the music as it was pulling out and revealing that tentacle monster down in the well. They're like, oh my gosh, and the music as it pulls out, perfection. This definitely has really, really, strong atmosphere to it. Which, I mean, if you're going to go black and white, obviously you just got to lean really hard into your atmosphere. That's what your game's about, if you go black and white. Cloudcraft suggested I would bet killing each other is more likely, but also some of the puzzles might be easier or faster. That's true. It's like there were like all the times where it was hard for me to coordinate my thumbs, and that was a challenge. That probably gets better. But all the times where it was hard to keep the characters from crossing the streams, I'm betting that's where like co-op would be tougher. Anyway, okay, so let's wrap up the video that I'm working on. You can subscribe if you want to, or you can look at other videos, or you can do whatever, and maybe I can get away with one more. We'll see. I think I can hear my son moving outside the door.